All right.
What is going on, YouTube? This is Black Bigot, the Black Bigot podcast. Kind of like a podcast. It's kind of unprofessional, as I am. Anyways, I got a special guest on the phone. We have a person by the name of Larry that I'm introducing on the podcast. Say hello, Larry.
Hola.
Ah,
Hello,
yes.
YouTube.
Larry has a rather feminine voice. Anyways, Larry, so the reason why we're talking today is because about a few weeks ago, I was live streaming and then people were calling in, with wanting to say whatever they wanted to say. And you called in and you told me something pretty interesting.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
what was that?
Well, I elaborated to you that I am in fact attracted to females, but immediately as I saw you, um, my mind kind of sort of changed, and I felt attracted to you.
Ah, okay. Now, guys, Larry is shy, so we're not going to post her picture. But I've seen her picture, and would you describe yourself as what would you describe your sexuality as?
Um, I guess I would have to say I'm a bisexual because I mean I've always dated women, but like if I saw a handsome guy or a cute guy, I'd be like, well, I wouldn't mind seeing him naked. Like, so, I would say I'm kind of in between, both. I like both sexes.
Okay, currently, are you in a relationship?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, that you said that pretty emphatically. Okay,
Yeah, it's just a waste of time to me.
okay. Now, if you're bisexual, now I'll say this: I've seen Larry's picture, and I will say this, you are definitely, you're kind of, how could I say this without being too, you're kind of like a little sort of butch. Like, you don't,
Yeah,
like, you got a short haircut, you dress like a guy, but you definitely don't try to sound like a guy. Um,
yeah,
you would be you're a nice looking girl if you like grew your hair out and you wore girl clothes. Yeah, you would be. I think you would be cute, but you kind
yeah.
of like looking like a boy. Is that fair to say?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's just something I was like a tomboy growing up, and like I don't know. It's just something I never really grew out of. I mean, I like the way men's clothes look on me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I tried to, dress up like as a woman a couple times, but it's just not me. So, but yeah, I have no problem on like what people see me as. I mean, you know,
Okay.
um, yeah,
Um. Now you you are the last relationship when we were talking on the phone. The last relationship you were in was with a woman, but have you ever been in a relationship with a man, like a serious relationship?
I I've been in serious relationships with a lot of women, but to be honest, I've only like casually hooked up with guys. I mean, not enough to like actually want to be with them, but like I've dated a lot of women, but
Okay, so
yeah.
so
Other than that,
so you're like a
I
little
don't really.
you're like a little Mac, right? You're like a player. Is that because you said a lot of women? So I mean,
Yeah, yeah, of course. And I mean, like if there was a guy I was interested in it, or if he tried to make a move or something, like I wouldn't turn him down. I mean, he's offering, so why not? And I've always believed in don't knock it till you try it. So
okay, and okay, so would you call yourself like? Because I know in the lesbian world, you have the guy, the woman that tries to look like a guy. They call those studs, right?
yes,
And
yeah,
normally when you see a stud, they're really they really are not
they're playing the role.
right, but you don't look like a stud. I mean, you dress like one, but you still look like a woman. You still have boobs,
Ex-
all that.
exactly. I at one point in my life, like I really tried to like be a stud, and I don't know, it made my family uncomfortable, and I could see like from other people. it makes them uncomfortable. So, I just started being me, and I, toned down some of my, like, I don't know, my aggression, I guess. But, I don't want people to feel uncomfortable around me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you? Okay. So we're now. You don't have to answer any question. If I ask a question and it makes you uncomfortable, just simply say you don't want to answer that. That's all. This is an open discussion between me and you and a couple thousand people listening eventually. But
Okay.
do you get off on having sex with women?
Um, that's an interesting one. I mean, like, I never, like, okay, so when you say sex, I, think of, like, both parties, on the act. But when I was with women, all I would simply do is just go down on them. Like, I wouldn't want anything, them to do anything to me. I just, you know, do them. But, I mean, with a guy, it's open range. Like, we could do everything.
That is odd. So you don't
It's
want a
I
woman to
don't
go
and
down?
see, and that's the thing. I know it is odd. It's just I know with women they're more like grudging, and like if they see a certain thing, it's gonna make me undermine myself. But with men, they'll just go at it. So that's why I have like no problem like you know trying to be with one because I knew I wouldn't be as self confident.
Right. So you don't like it when a woman goes down on you, but you like it when a guy goes down on you. Do you like so like when I say get off on sex, like like when you come or you orgasm or whatever, do you do that more easily with a man or more easily with a woman?
Um, I don't know. I'd say probably more easy with a woman because like you have to with a woman you have to build up to sex. You
Yeah, of
don't just
course.
jump right into it. I mean, like with guys, they'll just hurry up and jump in the bed. But
Pretty
with a
much, yeah.
woman, you get more touchy feely. Kiss on the neck or rub on the body, and then cuddle or whatever. But yeah, with women, I feel like it's more pleasurable because we're having to so much intimacy to get to the next part.
Correct. So let's talk about my favorite subject, me. So you said during the live stream that if you were to see me like on the street, you would be like, all right, that's a good looking guy, and then you told me that you're like, I wonder what that would be like, right? Like you wonder what it
Yeah.
would be like to be for me to for my big big body to be on top of your body. You were like, I wonder what that would feel like.
I see, and yeah, I don't want to sound like a hoe or anything, but like the guys that I've been with, they weren't attractive either. So I mean, you're saying all this and that. I'm not, like um afraid or anything. Like, I mean, yeah, I would like to meet you and everything, and just like everything when it goes smooth, I would like to get comfortable or whatever. I don't know. We can figure something out. I don't know.
Okay. Your audio was going out a little bit. Make sure you talk like directly into the phone because like I know you don't have a microphone and my audio sucks. So
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
don't be sorry. Just don't ever do it again. I'm just kidding. Okay. So let's say that we met, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's say we met up. Um, let's say we had a good time. We went, out and let's say we went to a carnival and we rode a bunch of rides and I won you some stupid gifts. And then, let's say you got a drinking problem, right? Let's just imagine you have a drinking problem. So
Okay.
and so you're feeling a little bit, a little bit happy, a little bit this and that. If we had a good time over the course of like maybe a week or whatever, or 2 weeks, whatever, would you consider would you consider sleeping in the same bed with me?
That's actually quite considerate because if you were to offer to make me lay in your van, I would probably say no. But in a bed, probably yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. So if I got a decent place, like at least a Super 8, that place is okay. So,
Something, you
yeah.
know.
So if I got a room for us, would I have to get one bed or two beds?
I mean, yeah, like you said, like if we went out and we had like a really good time and everything, then yeah, the extra beds would be unnecessary. I mean, why not just share the same bed? It would be cheaper, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'll say $5, and that $5 could go towards more booze for us. Um,
Exactly.
so if like let's say if we started spooning, and like let's say if we started whatever.
Yeah.
Basically what I'm asking you is would you be attracted enough to me to where if you were feeling good and everything was going right, would you consider, you know, sleeping with me?
You know, I probably, I mean, to be honest, I want to answer it like so enthusiastically, but I'm not trying to sound like super creepy. But yeah, I would because, like I said, like when I saw your YouTube channel, I don't know, it was just like something immediately just was like, oh my god, this guy, there's just something about him that just makes him so attractive.
I know it's really a curse when you think about it.
I think it's your eyes. I
Yeah,
don't know, maybe it's your douchebagness, but yeah,
that's funny. I am an asshole. I readily do admit that. Um,
yeah,
Now the only problem with us realizing our dreams of you having sex with a YouTube superstar such as myself, and me having sex with a bisexual girl who kind of looks like a boy that's kind of cute, totally would love to experiment with that, is, well, number one, the distance is an issue, but number two,
yeah,
also the fact of where you live. You kind of live
yeah.
in a. Do you want to tell people where you live?
Yes, my ass is in the middle of Alaska.
Yes, you
So,
live in Alaska. Now
yeah.
we won't say the city that you live in, but you live in a decent sized town.
Yes, it's the largest city here.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to throw that out there, but you already did, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least I didn't name it.
Yeah, right. But I'm sure people can figure it out. Okay, so you live in Alaska. I'm currently in Las Vegas. Tomorrow I could be in
Oh,
Phoenix. Tomorrow I could, I was going to Seattle, but I kind of changed my mind on things. But it doesn't matter whether I was in Seattle or Los Angeles. You would still have to fly out here because I can't just drive up. Uh, I don't even know how many miles is. How many miles are you from? Like, I don't know.
like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm quite far from the Canadian border, so it would take a couple days just to get to the Canadian border from where I am.
Yeah, you're very far up there, and I probably should have looked up the mileage. So we're gonna. So the distance is an issue. Um, I can't just drive up there. Now, if you lived in the continental United States, eventually I
Seriously,
would be close to you in the next few months, where I can just stop by, we can hang out, and just see if we connect or if we vibe. Also,
right?
another quick question. You sound kind of young. Do you want to tell everybody how old you are?
Yeah, I just turned 21, so if anyone's concerned, I'm 21.
Because you sound very young and you have a very girly voice. So it's
Oh, well, yeah, I've been told that. You know,
yeah,
when people first meet me, they always say, "Oh, I always envisioned your voice would be deeper."
yeah, because you do. You kind of look a little lesbian-ish. Well, not look, kind of. You do, but you have a
Yeah,
very girly voice and you have a very feminine-looking face.
yeah.
You got nice lips, and you got nice
Oh, thank
lips,
you.
and
You have
you
nice
and you
eyes.
and you. Yeah, thank you. And you do manicure your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are on.
Yeah,
As the kids
you
say,
know,
they're on fleek.
yeah. Like I said, like I may look butch and everything, but I do have like my feminine qualities. Like I don't like try to, lower my voice or try to like flex around other men. I try to, make sure people know that I am a female.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So we have a problem then if we want to realize what we want to do is how do we get you to go from Alaska down to where I'm currently at. So I'm proposing I'm proposing an idea that I'm not 100% sure like would work or how it would work, but I'm thinking this. I'm thinking of starting either a GoFundMe or I'm thinking about streaming like one particular night where I stream for like 12 hours to generate enough revenue to buy you a round trip ticket from Alaska
Oh my God.
down to, now it's not a definite we got to work out some kinks, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I would be open to, you know, us discussing it in the very near future, the possibility of you. And now listen, let's say, I mean, let's say tomorrow I got the money and I'm like, all right, you want to fly on down, and because this is not a cheap endeavor. I don't know how much
Yeah.
round trip tickets cost from Alaska. I'm assuming they're quite a bit. I would
Yeah.
have to, you know, pay for a place for us. I'd have to take you out, wine and dine you, all that bullshit that all guys got to do, whatever, to make a
Well,
woman
who's
happy.
to say I can't do that for you?
Oh,
I'm. Yeah, I mean, I could probably do that
oh, okay, all right. Well, do you?
because it's me who's, the one who's attracted, and I don't know, low key, I'm the one that's kind of chasing you.
Well, you could look at it that way. Okay. Do you work? Do you go to school? What's your situation?
Yeah, I work. I work in produce at this supermarket. I just cut fruit all day, and I get paid every week. So I mean, I could just put some money aside or whatever. Maybe contribute to this endeavor we're trying to pursue.
Okay. I tell you what. We're gonna discuss the. We're gonna. I mean, this isn't again, guys. This isn't a definite thing. This is just something that we were kind of throwing around. Is getting. You know, you call it e-bagging, you can call it whatever, you call it whatever the hell you want. But I'm thinking that would be really cool to pursue something like that. It would be very, you know, it'd be odd. I'd get a lot of haters. I get a lot of people, leave that little kid alone, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, the little kid can drink.
Exactly.
Do you like to drink?
Yeah, I don't mind.
What's your favorite drink?
Um, I, I mean, I got a lot of favorite drinks. I can drink anything from Grey Goose, Hennessy to Jose Cuervo. It doesn't really matter.
Are you a good kisser?
I thought I told you I was a professional.
Oh, you're a professional kisser. Okay. Do you like to give and receive, if you know what I mean? Are you a giver?
Um, I can give. I'm not really, I'm not very confident with the receiving. But yeah, I am extremely giver. I give my heart out.
Well, I'm not really talking about your heart, but your heart needs to be into it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, very good. Okay. So we're gonna conclude the interview, but we're gonna keep in touch with each other.
Okay.
You seem like a good girl. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I'm sure people would not know this, but where were you? Do you want to say where you were born?
Yeah, I was born in Kansas,
What part of Kansas were you from again?
Topeka.
Okay, yeah, I was out there a few months ago. Now, a lot of people may not know this because you know people from outside the United States they'll watch this or listen to this. You get paid, you get money from the state of Alaska, like kind of like a yearly check, just because you live
Yeah.
there.
So yeah, around every October, um, the state will give out a permanent fund dividend, and it's just it'll typically range from anywhere from a little over to 1,000 to maybe under 3,000, and they'll give it to pretty much every citizen in the state. Just because if you live like out in the bush, like you're spending like $30 for a loaf of bread. So it's just kind of to help you, make it through the year. Get yourself a car if you need to, something like that. It's just to help you out because the cost of living up here is just crazy expensive. It's like unheard of.
Do you live with your parents or do you have your own apartment?
Yeah, I live with my mother, but I do pay my fair share of like rent and utilities and
Yeah.
gas. You know.
Is it true that, and I heard this through the grapevine, it's kind of like that song. I heard that ghetto ass thugs from, like, let's say Los Angeles or the Bay Area, they've moved up to Alaska so they can get that money so they could buy a bunch of crack and sell it. Is that true?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, there's been a lot of crime up here. The homelessness levels have soared so high. So, I mean, it's been quite dangerous, in Alaska. I mean, like, I think for the past 2 weekends, there's been like 4 people that have been killed. So, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
How many times in your life have you smoked crack?
I've never smoked crack. To be honest, I didn't even know it still existed. Like, I was questioning, like, does it even exist?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, crack is everywhere. Whitney Houston said crack is whack, but it's actually quite delicious if you want to know the real truth. Okay, very good. So we're gonna cut the interview, but thank you to all those who've listened to the podcast. This is like something you don't have to watch the video. You can kind of just listen to it as you're doing your daily chores, your daily rituals of stalking me online or beating your children. Anyways, I want to thank Larry, my special guest, for coming on the Black Bigot podcast. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, very good. I am Black Bigot with Larry, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully, very soon, we'll have sex. So until next time, America, peace out.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Bye.